importance of the precast segment is basically to ensure that there's no exposed rock for the tunnel itself. It ensures that it's structurally sound.
Wagners are producing concrete tunnel segments for the project.
Roughly about 500 to 600 segments a day. In total, 25,000 segments would be required for this project.
6 segments per ring. We will be producing these rings in a factory that's just behind me, and we're going to produce them during day shift during the initial phase, and we'll be moving to having day shift and night shift. The segments are going to be loaded onto trucks, 40 rings that are going to be loaded per night. All the transfer of the segments are through night shift, and they'll be transported to the holding yard of the Gabba. 2 rings that we have here that are put together so we can check the dimensions of the mold and the whole production process. With these dimensions, we can see if all the segments are going to fit perfectly in the final products, and all the molds that are going to be making these segments are going to have identical dimensions.
We're standing right beside the segment storage area at the Gabba. You can see all the segments getting stored behind us. So these are what will be lined behind the tunnel boring machines as they progressively excavate the tunnels. Once it arrives here, obviously you can see behind us there's a forklift and it gets picked up off the back of a semi. It arrives as a full ring, so a ring has 6 segments, so it's carried 3 stacks, 2 separate areas on the back of the truck, and forklift takes up 3 segments at a time, and it gets placed onto those plinths. And then once it's on those plinths, you can see there at the moment, they do the measurement checks and make sure that if it conforms with the quality, ensure there's no cracking or any defects during the transfer to site. Around
The perimeter of each of these segments is a waterproofing membrane or gasket, and that basically touches on each of the segments, and when the machine pushes off the segment, it compresses this gasket to ensure that it's waterproof. 2 of these particular segments actually are smaller, but it's a keystone to form the ring or circumference of segmental lining. So once the segment has been installed, there's dowels on each of the transfers, and also speed bolts are attached to make sure the ring is locked in.
It's an exciting role because you're coming in every day, seeing a new segment being produced, a new ring being produced, and the camaraderie between people here who are working on the line, and the aim and target for everyone is to have a complying segment that is going to perform well in its intended use. We all come together to make this happen. We can proudly look back and tell the next generation that we've been a part of this project.